No one is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your ex, not the government. It's just you facing everything, but you're not lazy. You're drowning in chaos. No mission, no rules, no fire. And that's killing you slowly, silently, and every single day. You wake up and the world feels like noise. You scroll, you eat, maybe you drink, maybe you sleep again. Nothing moves, nothing burns. The man inside you is still there, but he's buried under years of failure, doubt, and unfinished dreams. And here's the truth no one told you. You don't need motivation. You need a fight. You need something to stand for, something to suffer for, something to rise for. Because right now, you're not just stuck. You're under attack from your own comfort, from the lies you tell yourself, from the silence in your room. And this video is not here to comfort you. It is not here to preach or coddle. It is here to arm you, to give you a new weapon clarity structure and war-ready discipline. We're going to rebuild you like a warrior. No more chasing fake motivation. No more floating through days without fire. You are going to stand up, broken, bleeding, but breathing. And you are going to fight back. And if you're watching this video alone right now, drop a single dot in the comments below so I know you're out there, so you know you're not alone. There is a whole army of men, broken, silent, and ready to rise. This is your war. It starts now. You cannot rebuild what you refuse to admit is broken. This is where most men stay trapped. Not because they lack potential, but because they're too proud to face the wreckage. They call it bad luck. They blame their boss, their ex, the market, their childhood. They drink the excuses until they forget how it all fell apart. But if you want to rebuild like a warrior, the first rule is brutal honesty. You have to sit down with your ruins, name every broken piece. Look at the debts, look at your body, look at your addictions. Look at the lies, then say it out loud, I let this happen, and now I will fix it. Napoleon Hill, one of the greatest minds on personal growth, said it clearly. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. But you will never find that seed if you pretend the pain isn't there. This isn't self-hate. This is self-ownership, and it is the first true act of manhood. Get a notebook. Write this at the top: how I broke myself, not to shame yourself, but to build clarity, to find patterns, to remove fog. Hill taught that clarity of desire is the beginning of all achievement, but clarity requires truth, real sharp, uncomfortable truth. Let me tell you something most men never hear. You are allowed to be broken. You are allowed to have failed. You are allowed to have wasted years. What you are not allowed to do is stay there. You don't need another video telling you everything will be okay. You need structure. You need fire. You need a reason to get up. That reason starts when you finally admit, I destroyed my life, and now I will design it again. This is your clean slate. This is where shame becomes power. This is where silence becomes planning. And Hill would agree. He said, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. That includes quitting on yourself. If you're still breathing, your story is not finished. But the man you used to be, let him go. He had his chance. He failed. Thank him for surviving. Then bury him. Because you are not here to continue his cycle. You are here to become something he could not imagine. The ruins are not your prison. They are your blueprint. And today, we start redrawing every line. Most men wait for motivation. Winners build routines. Warriors, they weaponize discipline. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it. That's the difference between those who change and those who stay stuck. Every morning you stay in bed after the alarm. Every time you scroll instead of move, every promise you break to yourself, these are not just small failures. These are drills in reverse. They are training you to become weaker. But here's the shift. Discipline is not punishment. It is a declaration. A declaration that says, I am in command again. Your brain doesn't want pain. Your body doesn't want structure, but your soul, it is starving for it. Start with this, open your calendar. Choose a time to wake up every day, not when you feel rested, not when you feel inspired. A fixed time. Set it. Keep it, no matter what. Napoleon Hill said, self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. But thoughts alone are not enough. You must build visible physical proof that you run your life, not the other way around. Next, schedule your day. Not like a prison, like a mission. Ask yourself this every night. If tomorrow was the most productive, fulfilling, battle-ready day I could live, what would it look like? Then build it. Don't overpack it. Don't make it impossible. Build a day you can actually win, and win it. If you hit 70% good, next week go for 75. If you fail, do not sulk. Reset, adjust, attack again. You're not building perfection, you're building momentum. Jordan Peterson. Another battle-tested voice said it best. Set the schedule up so you have the day you want, not the day the world hands you, the day you decide to dominate. This is not about becoming a robot. It's about becoming a weapon, a man who can be relied upon by himself, for himself. Because every time you negotiate with your comfort, you lose. But every time you keep a promise to yourself, you become someone new, someone stronger, someone closer to unstoppable. And here's the truth that burns the old version of you to the ground. You already know what needs to be done. You just haven't done it yet. So do it. Wake up early. Eat with purpose. Train your body. Focus your hours. Turn off the noise. Write your goals. Track your time. Stack your wins. Repeat. And when you want to quit, remember what Hill said. Discipline comes through self-control. This means that one must control all negative qualities. Control your time. Control your attention. Control your actions. This is not control for the sake of pride. This is control for the sake of freedom. Because a man without discipline is always a slave to something. If your life has collapsed, then your code has failed. That's the truth most men never want to admit. You were living by rules, even if you didn't write them down. Maybe the rule was make people like me. Maybe it was chase money at all costs. Maybe it was numb the pain, stay quiet, don't look weak. And maybe those rules got you somewhere, but they couldn't keep you there because they weren't built for storms. And life is full of storms. That's why every warrior needs a code, a real one, not a meme, not a slogan, a living, breathing set of rules that shape how you move, what you allow, what you pursue, and what you protect. This is how you begin to rebuild your identity from the ground up. Step 1, define what you fight for. This isn't just about goals, it's about purpose. Money is not a purpose, neither is revenge. Ask yourself, if I had nothing, what would still be worth fighting for? Your answer might be freedom, integrity, brotherhood, redemption, legacy. Write it down. Say it out loud. Make it real. Napoleon Hill said, definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. This is your North Star. Without it, discipline dies. Without it, effort fades. You don't need vague dreams. You need a reason that can survive the worst day of your life. Step 2. Decide what you will never tolerate again. Every fall starts with a compromise. You tolerated bad company. You tolerated weakness in silence. You let people talk down to you. You let yourself lie, skip, quit. Make a list of non-negotiables, things that will never be allowed in your world again. Laziness, victim mindset, dishonesty, excuses. These are not personality quirks, they are diseases. Treat them like enemies. Step 3. Write your personal warrior code. Your code should have no more than 10 lines. Simple, ruthless, yours. Here's an example. I show up early and prepared. I speak the truth even when it costs me. I train my body to match my ambition. I control what I consume. I protect my time like my life depends on it. I lead with strength, not fear. I build, I do not destroy. I leave people stronger than I found them. I learn from every hit I take. I do not quit, ever. Now these aren't universal. You must write your own, tailored to your battle, anchored to your purpose. These are not quotes to post online. These are rules you bleed for. Step 4. Live it, test it, evolve it. Your code is not for display, it's for discipline. Test it in silence, in cold mornings, in failed days, in moments where quitting looks holy. Some days, you will fall short. That's expected. But the warrior is not the one who never breaks. The warrior is the one who returns to the code again and again until the code becomes him. Because this world doesn't need more men pretending to be tough. It needs more men who live by principle when no one's watching. Understand this. The old version of you lived by default. The new version of you will live by design. And that makes you dangerous in the best way possible. Jordan Peterson said, "A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control." Your code gives you that control. It tells you what to ignore, what to sacrifice, what to protect, and most importantly, what kind of man you will become. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by the principles you fight for every day, even when no one claps, no one sees, and no one believes in you. Because at the end of it all, when the world burns and the lies fall away, your code is what keeps you standing. You do not need more motivation. You need a mirror, a pen, and the courage to say, "This is who I was. This is who I am. And this is the man I will become." You've done what most men never do. You looked into the ruins. You didn't flinch. You didn't lie to yourself. You stood there surrounded by the wreckage of who you used to be, and you said, "I'm not done." Then you built structure. You forged discipline. You wrote your new code. That's not motivation. That's transformation. But this is the moment where most give up, right when the plan is clear, right when the new path appears, right when the fire starts to burn again. That's when the world gets louder. The doubt returns. The voices of the old self whisper again. This is why most men never make it to the other side, because knowing is not enough. Wanting is not enough. Even starting is not enough. Only finishing counts. Only consistency. Only action. And that's what separates warriors from the world. You don't win this war with a single decision. You win it every morning you get up when it's dark. Every time you move when your body says no. Every time you say the truth when it's easier to stay silent. Every day you live by your code even when no one else believes in it. This isn't about perfection. It's about returning. Every time you fall, return. Every time you forget, return. Every time you feel broken again, return. That's the muscle. That's the man. Napoleon Hill said persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel. You don't become unstoppable in one breakthrough. You become it in 1,000 tiny acts of refusal. Refuse to quit. Refuse to betray your code. Refuse to stay average. Because you weren't born for comfort, you were born for impact. And if no one told you that I'm telling you now, the world doesn't need another man pretending to be okay. It needs you, real, raw, rebuilt, and ready. So here's your call. Tonight, write your first warrior rule, and tomorrow live by it. Drop a single dot in the comments if you're ready. Not just to be seen, but to be counted. To be part of a tribe that doesn't settle. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where the fire begins. This is your second life. This is your real self. This is your war. And it starts now.